I hope you all are well this morning. We ready to start courtroom two?
Yes, can we start with Mr. Russell, the probation,
Okay.
so they can go ahead and get off the Zoom?
Let's see. Mr. Russell is position 2 and 3 on the probation revocation calendar. And where is Mr. Russell? Is he at? Okay. Good morning, Mr. Russell. Good morning. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. McLean. Do you represent Mr. Russell?
Good morning, Your Honor. We would like to represent Mr. Russell. He was in a remote location. It's been brought by video here, and we would like the opportunity to speak to him.
Okay, so Mr. McLean needs to speak with Mr. Russell beforehand. Do we have a phone that we can have them contact each other?
We can receive a call here.
I can give you your phone number, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's see if we can accomplish that.
Do they want me to call their number?
Yes, sir.
I can take it, yes.
706
Got it?
769
Uh-huh.
3930.
I'll call in just a second.
Okay, good morning, Officer Harris. We'll be with you when we can. Thank you.
Okay, thanks,
Um,
Can we start with position 2, Mr. Bell?
Okay, is Mr. Dodez there?
My apologies, Your Honor. I'm speaking with another client.
Okay, you're fine, Mr. Dodez.
Position 2?
Yes, that's my understanding. Is this Mr. Bell beside you?
Yes, I think he has a question, but it is my understanding this will be a negotiated plea. Can we mute one?
Okay. Go ahead. Let me know when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, I believe I've answered all questions, and this will still remain a negotiated plea.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Bell. Good morning. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Do I, what's that?
We're doing this by video. Is that okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down, Mr. Bell. Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Young.
Good morning, Judge. The state's recommendation in this case is 12 months, served 28 days, credit for time served 14 days with the balance probated to stay away from the incident location. No further contact with the victim and the anti-theft course. And for the obstruction, 12 months probation to run concurrent to count 1. And I will give you that address in just a moment. The address for the stay away is 3286 Myrtle Street in Hateville, Georgia. And it's no contact with Emily Powell. She's the victim in the theft partaking.
Yes, Mr. Dodis.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, that's our understanding of the offer. We do stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the purpose of this plea. We would request that he'll be on probation. We would request it to switch to non-reporting status upon completion of the anti-theft course. And if Your Honor would give Mr. Bell a break on probation fees so that he can pay for that class, that would be appreciated. And I have provided Mr. Bell with a list of resources, including a recommended class, so that he can knock that out quickly.
Okay, I think he should be able, I'm gonna have the probation terminate when he's complete the anti-theft class, and he should be able to do that relatively quickly. So I'm not inclined to waive any fees in that respect. He should be able to get that done in the first month.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bell, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 002660D, you wish to plead guilty to theft by taking and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Oh, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Bell. Let's see. Once you complete the anti-theft course, the probation is going to terminate. So the sooner you get that done, the sooner you won't be on probation, okay?
Sir, yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Bell.
Good luck.
So we can go back to Mr. Russell.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor. That was brief, but I simply asked Mr. Russell what reasons and what presentation he'd like to make to the court. It'll be simple and brief.
okay. Yes, Officer Harris.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Russell was sentenced to probation on September the 8th, 2022 to 12 months to complete the 24-week domestic violence classes. As today, Mr. Russell has not reported to our office. He had a prior verification hearing he did not make, and he also has violated probation by getting 3 charges since then of aggravated assault, battery, family violence, and false imprisonment on November 5th, 2022. He has 3 months, 14 days remaining. Probation recommendation is to revoke that remaining balance.
Yes, Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, we know that it was in late September when he got that. By January, he had been arrested again. And that's simply what he's presenting to the court, is that while he did make some, well, we don't have any efforts to show and result during the fall, but by the time he got locked up, he's been in custody since. So with his other cases pending and the number of months remaining, we would ask the court to consider either cutting the amount of revocation in approximately half or deleting it altogether, since he will not be out during the time of those months.
Well, if he's not going to be out, it doesn't really make a difference one way or another as far as how much time I revoke. So I'm going to accept the probation officer's recommendation and revoke the balance of the 3 months and 14 days, and then he'll be done with these charges.
Understood, Your Honor. He understands that. We did discuss that.
Okay. Good luck to you, Mr. Russell.
All right.
Who do we have next?
Your Honor, it might be good to address the case with the Spanish interpreter. We have made efforts by going literally in person to the Atlanta Mission and to the Salvation Army locations to line up housing. We have also made phone contact with Grady through our social worker. Your Honor, we do not have completion of our project to get him in as of today. I would suggest we put that again to Tuesday or Thursday.
Which case is that, Mr. McLean?
That's Mr. last name Roman-Hurtado.
Okay, he is on our add-on calendars as number 2 and number 3. And the request is, when would you like for it to put it back on the calendar?
Your Honor is familiar with the case. I think
Yes.
following Thursday, 7 days from now, we'll have it accomplished. We're also concerned about the fact that he's not taking meds even while he's in jail. So that's a priority that we're working on as well. We're going on about 3 fronts at once. And
Okay.
hopefully by Thursday, every day we're plugging away at it. I'll put it that way. We will be working on this tomorrow.
Okay, so we can put it on for Thursday, the 18th, if that's okay with everyone. 5:18.
So
Do we need?
We
Go
need the
ahead.
interpreter to tell him that.
Good
Oh,
morning,
where-
Your Honor.
Good morning.
I will not be available on Thursday, the 18th. I'm sorry, but somebody
Okay.
else maybe can cover this.
Do you think, are you available on next Tuesday, Ms. Chansey?
I am actually, is my on-call day. I'll be there. I'll be on all day available.
You think you can get it done by Tuesday, Mr.
That's
McCoy?
right, Your Honor. We do have tomorrow with it. We don't have court. And it's better than a Monday or Wednesday for us to get stuff done on Friday.
Okay, well, I'm on the SAP calendar on Tuesday next week also. So if you want, and Ms. Chansey has already, I think, spoken with him and she's familiar with the matter also. So if you want to put it on Tuesday to see if we can get it done then, I'm happy to do that.
Yes, Your Honor. Let's shoot for that.
Okay, so thank you, Ms. Chansey. I appreciate
You're
it. So
welcome, sir. My pleasure.
That's going to be the 16th. And do we need Madam Interpreter for anything else this morning?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate it.
Position 8.
And so there's a request for a week reset for Mr. Akpu.
Okakbu, yes, Your Honor. I wanted to address, we do want this case to be reset a week out so that we can readdress. I do want to address bond today. I have the family on the line. I spoke with mom and I'm trying to get it modified so that I can have contact with, I believe, Mr. Walter Okakbu, the alleged victim. We're trying to help Mr. Okakbu be placed in a program upon either accepting a plea or making a bond. And the goal is to have him go directly from custody to a program. And I want to make sure that there are no barriers for me communicating. So while I do want to reset, I do want to address bond today.
Okay. So what is the history? Good morning, Ms. Tyson.
Good morning, Your Honor. The defendant has 11 arrest cycles beginning in 2018. Does have a misdemeanor conviction for simple battery. Disposition date on that is January 2019. That's out of Fulton County. He has another misdemeanor conviction out of Fulton County also. Let's see. Same disposition date of January 2019, and that's for simple assault, family violence. Let's see. Okay. And it looks like his last arrest before the case that's on the calendar was June 2022, and that was for criminal trespass out of Brunswick. No disposition is listed on that arrest, Your Honor. Nothing to add.
Thank you. And Mr. Young, what does this matter involve?
Yes, Your Honor, this matter is a simple battery family violence involving the victim, Walter Okakbu. From my understanding, the current bond is a $6,000 surety. The defendant is out on a $6,000 good bond with the same victim. And I believe there are some active DUI cases, if I'm not mistaken. The state would ask for the bond to stay the same. The state does have some concerns about this defendant reoffending, given the fact that he has open felony cases and he has this case against the same victim. So, because I believe that he's possibly a reoffend. So we would ask that the bond stay the same.
Okay. Mr. Dotis?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Okakpu is 31 years old. He's been in jail for 13 days on a $6,000 surety bond that he cannot afford. He has been in the state of Georgia for 25 years and his family resides here. He does have a stable housing at the incident location. I would request to hear, I haven't spoken with Mr. Walter Okakpu, but we would request one of the bond conditions to be changed from no further contact to no further violent contact. As stated previously, I'm trying to work with the family to assist Mr. Okakpu with an inpatient program, either through bond or through resolving this case. The goal is to have him go directly from custody to that. So we would request the bond to be lowered to a $3,000 surety bond to assist the family in making bond as soon as we have placement. And we would request after hearing from the family, if Your Honor would allow the no further contact with Walter Okakpu to be switched to no further violent contact, so that I can speak with the family and make sure that we're all on the same page on getting Mr. Okakpu the services that he needs.
And Your Honor, I see that Mr. Walter Okakpu is on the line, so if you would reach out for him when appropriate. Pretty sure you can further elaborate, but according to our victim advocate notes, he did not want any contact until the accused completed some type of treatment to address his alcohol issues.
Okay, and yes, Mr. Walter Okakpu, if you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. I'll need for you to unmute yourself, and I'll have to swear you in if you desire to address the court.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Walter Okakpu.
Okay, yes, Mr. Okakpu. Are you able to activate your camera for me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And can you raise your right hand for me?
Okay.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Did you hear Mr. Dodo's request? And let me know how you feel about that.
That's fine. I think realize that his problem is just the alcoholism, which makes him get erratic sometimes. And then we have made arrangements for him to go to a rehabilitation place where he will be there for 1 whole year. And then I guess after that, he will be normal again by the grace of God. So I don't mind him contacting me or his lawyer talking to me. I'm open to everything that is possible to help him.
Okay. So Mr. Dodos, let's see. Can we unmute courtroom 2, please? So your request was to reduce the bond to a $3,000 surety bond, I believe, with no further violent contact with Mr. Walter, and that he go directly into the treatment facility once he's released from custody. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor. I do need to finalize speaking with the treatment program to confirm that. That's why we wanted the 1 week reset to make sure that we're on top of this.
So, and if we reset it 1 week, do you anticipate that you will have him in that facility before the end of the week? Well, I'm just wondering, do we need a reset if I grant your bond request?
Your Honor, again, I would just ask for the reset to control. I spoke with one program, and it's not a firm date that we can get that, but with speaking with the family, they want him to go directly to that program. So we don't want an issue where he's taken off the calendar, but we don't have secure placement, and he has to go, to a situation that won't be successful for him if he's released within the week.
Okay, so that's fine with me. So we can reset him for next Thursday, 5/18.
Okay.
In the meantime, if I will grant your bond request, so if you will submit that. And as of course, as a condition is that he has to be, once he's released, he has to go directly to the facility.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Good luck to you, Mr. Okaku, all and your family also.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Position 9, 10, and 11, Mr. Pack.
Negotiated plea.
Okay, and where is Mr. Pack? Is he at 3 South? Okay, good morning, Mr. Pack. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Pack? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Yes, Mr. Young.
Okay, Your Honor. I guess I'm just going to start at position 9 and just work my way down. So in
That's
the
fine.
first case, the disorderly conduct, 12 months served, 90 days, credit for time served, 15 days, stay away from the incident location. And that incident location being MARTA 2424 Piedmont, followed by the criminal trespass, 12 months probation, disorderly conduct, 12 months probation, certain acts, 12 months probation, obstruction, 12 months probation, all to run concurrent to count 1. And then for position 9, fair evasion, criminal trespass, it's 12 months probation for each offense to stay away from the incident location, being 2235 Peachtree Street Southwest, that's the Garnet MARTA station, to run concurrent to 23 CR 0000649C. And then for position 11, the simple assault, 12 months served, 60 days, credit for time served, 15 days, the balance probated, a 6-week anger management for the public indecency, 12 months served, 60 days, credit for time served, 15 days, the balance probated, with the sexual deviancy evaluation and treatment, both criminal trespasses, 12 months probation to run concurrent to count 1, and for this case to run concurrent to 23 CR 0000649C.
Okay. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, my client and I ran through all the math, and with the concurrency of the recommended sentence in 9, 10, and 11, we know that there will be 30 extra days of jail out of position number 9 and its counts, and that there will be 15 extra days jail out of position number 11, and that those are concurrent. He understands the math, he understands the number of extra days, discussing his situation with the elements and with any priors. He decided upon a negotiated plea rather than an unnegotiated. He asked the court to accept his negotiated plea according to the terms that the state has laid out. He stipulates to venue, identification, and factual basis.
Mr. Pack, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 001837C, you wish to plead guilty to fair evasion and criminal trespass. In case 23 CR 00649C, you wish to plead guilty to disorderly conduct, 2 counts, criminal trespass, certain acts prohibited on a bus rail station, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. And on case 23 CR 002577C, you wish to plead guilty to 2 counts of criminal trespass, simple assault, and a 4th misdemeanor charge. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll accept your plea as negotiated, Mr. Pack. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Can we do add-on 1, Ms. Rockwell client?
Okay.
I'm
Good
not
morning.
quite ready yet. I just need to stand down and have a brief discussion with the prosecutor, Judge. Can I just
Okay.
stand down? I'll let y'all know.
Okay, you're fine, Ms. Rockwell. So are you speaking with Mr. Walker?
You
Thank
can
you, sir.
type me in the chat, Ms. Rockwell.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, let us know when you're ready.
So we can go to position number 20 and 21 at the Alpharetta jail, which is Ms. Walker.
Walker, no, we have not. We will need a call from the Alpharetta jail.
Okay. Is there someone at the Alpharetta jail that we can that can receive a telephone call or a call?
Yes, we're here.
Okay. Do you have the number, Mr. McLean?
The Alpharetta jail number, no, Your Honor, that phone number for the Alpharetta jail is in my phone in the car.
Alpharetta jail call courtroom number 2.
That would be good.
You can dial 22392.
Okay. And I'll not hang up because we have another client up there to talk to as well.
So we can do position 5 in courtroom 2, Mr. Ford.
Okay. And this is going to be a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Ford. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Ford. Mr. Young?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation in this case is 12 months served, 90 days, credit for time served, 13 days. The balance probated, 12 months anger management, stay away from the incident location, and no further contact with the victim. Give me just a moment and I'll get that information for you. The location is 1678 Howell Mill Road. That's the Quick Trip in Atlanta. And the victim in the case is Anthony Fall, the manager of that store.
Mr. Dotis?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. My only note on that is I have 14 days of credit for Mr. Ford. So I would ask for it to be worded like as serve 90 days credit for 14 days. If Mr. Young wants to verify, that's fine. We do stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the purpose of this plea. Other than that, we would ask for it to go to non-reporting status upon completion of the anger management. And if Your Honor would assist Mr. Ford with his probation fees, Mr. Ford will be residentially challenged. I provided paperwork with probation's number and a list of resources, but we would want to give him every opportunity to get on his feet and make sure that he's meeting his obligations.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Ford, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 002629Y, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and not by pleading guilty to it. You're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept your plea as negotiated, Mr. Ford. I'm going to waive 2 months of probation fees to help you get on your feet. You should be able to get a job within that period of time. And once you complete the terms of the probation, the anger management, it'll go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you're not going to have to pay fees, and the sooner you're not going to have to report, okay?
Those. I still need to.
Position 3, Bradley.
This is also a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Brantley. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Mr. Young?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, again, to Mr. Brownlee, the state's recommendation is 12 months served, 26 days, credit for time served, 13 days, the balance probated, and anti-theft course, $500 fine, no further contact with the victim. Susanna N. Leonard, she was the check holder, and stay away from the Regions Bank.
Okay. Mr. Doders?
My apologies, Your Honor, I was on mute. That's our understanding of the offer. There was some background noise. I know we had further discussions with ASG Young. Could you confirm the jail time so I make sure I have the correct jail time?
What I calculated was 13 days, but my math.
So I just want to make sure that we had it. I believe we talked about serving 26 days credit for 13 days. I want to make sure I'm right.
That's correct.
Thank you, Mr. Young. And my client has one question. My apologies. Thank you, Your Honor. We are prepared to go forward with the negotiated plea and stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the purpose of this plea.
Mr. Brantley, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 0026661F, you wish to plead guilty to forgery in the 4th degree. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Brantley. Good luck to you, sir.
And Your Honor, Mr. Brantley will be on SSI and suffering from housing issues. I've provided him with an assistance sheet, and he will be at the Salvation Army, which he has the address for. We would ask if this court would give Mr. Brantley a break on his probation fees and switch him to non-reporting status once he pays off the fine and the anti-theft course, which he's going to do quickly, but again, he is on limited funds due to the SSI.
Okay. I'll waive 2 months of the probation fees to help him get on his feet. And it'll go to a non-reporting status once he gets it done. So the sooner you get it done, Mr. Brantley, the sooner you won't have to be on reporting probation, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 1, Atkinson.
Okay, the only issue here is whether he's going to be allowed to plead nolo or not.
Your Honor, we would request nolo. Our only issue is we'd ask for, instead of no further contact with the alleged victim, who is his twin sister, we would ask for no further violent contact.
Have you spoken with the sister? Has the solicitor spoken with the sister?
I have
No,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Your Honor, I have not. I didn't have a contact number, and I wasn't even clear if there was a no further contact, since this case is from back in 2015. I did speak with grandma, and she tells me that the twin sister lives in Maine, so I don't think that there will be, much of any contact in the near future. But as this is family, and there don't seem to be any other issues in the 8 years since, we would still request for no further violent contact.
And Your Honor, to answer your question, we have not had any contact with the victim, Aaliyah Atkinson. And for that reason, that's the state position to err on the side of caution and ask for the no further contact, even though it's been several years, but sometimes people hold on to grudges. So.
Okay. Does he have a history?
Yes, Your Honor. Looks like the defendant is a multi-state offender. He has arrests out of Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee. He has 2 cycles out of Georgia, no felony or misdemeanor convictions, just 1 FTA out of Fulton County. Out of Tennessee, he has 6 cycles beginning in 2017. He has a misdemeanor conviction for possession of controlled substance. Disposition date on that is June 2017. He has another misdemeanor conviction for domestic assault. Disposition is January 2018. Another misdemeanor conviction for domestic assault. Disposition is May 2022. 1 FTA. And it looks like his last arrest in Tennessee was actually March 26th of 2023 for theft of property. No disposition is listed for that as of yet. Let's see. And out of Tennessee, looks like he has 1 FTA and 2 violations of probation. Nothing to add, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Dodos, I'm not going to allow him to use a NOLO, and I will, since this goes back to 2015 and it does not appear to be anything further with the alleged victim, no further violent contact.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can I have a moment to speak with my client?
Yes, you can.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're prepared to go forward.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. Young?
Yes, Your Honor. Briefly, the state's recommendation is 12 months, served 26 days, credit for time served 13 days, with the balance probated. And the, I don't even know if the stay away is necessary in this case, given the length of time and the victim lives in Maine now, but that's the state's recommendation.
Okay.
My understanding is neither party lives at that address, but we're fine with either.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Dodos?
We do stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID. I understand the state was asking for balance probated, but since I don't see any conditions, we just asked for balance suspended.
Any objection, Mr. Young?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Atkinson, it's my understanding that in case 16 CR 0140618, you wish to plead guilty to battery. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and not by pleading guilty to it. You're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Atkinson, and there'll be no further violent contact with the victim. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Is Ms. Rockwell ready?
It was my understanding that she would let the court know when she's ready, so I take it.
I just sent a chat to Ian Walker. And Judge, I'll just stand down until I hear from him.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I
Ms.
just
Rockwell.
received your honor, so if I could just have a minute maybe to.
And so you all just let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
And
All the remaining people here in the courtroom too are from McLean. So we'll have a brief moment.
okay. Okay, we will be in recess until Mr. McLean comes back or we get one of Mr. Dodez's clients.
Funny name. for it.
Position 12 and 14, Ragland.
Your Honor, in the case of Mr. Ragland, we want to do that as an unnegotiated plea, but we need a certain relative of his on the phone. When we spoke to him yesterday, we tried to get hold of that person, but their voicemail is full. We'd like to put this off till Tuesday or Thursday, Your Honor, because we need to get that relative on.
Okay,
And we tried again this morning, so.
so why don't we put it on for next Thursday? Is that fine?
That works.
Okay. So the 18th,
That's great.
okay?
May 18th. Yeah, I'll keep trying to get home.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 15, Reed.
Your Honor, I believe that's a negotiated plea. Also, Your Honor, the person, one of the two people in Alpharetta Jail, whose last name is Walker, first name S. Shanavia. That's a negotiated plea, Your Honor. We have discussed the case with them. It's simply a time served, balance suspended, stay away. And it's just 3 counts, so that was pretty simple to discuss. And that's a negotiated plea.
okay. I guess we'll go there next. So this is Mr. Reed beside you here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Reed. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down, Mr. Reed. Thank you. Let's see, Mr. Young.
Yes, Judge. The state's recommendation in this case is 12 months served, 24 days, credit for time served, 12 days with the balance probated, and anti-theft course, and to stay away from the incident location being 135 Fairborn Road, Southwest in Atlanta, and no contact with the victim, Derek Grayson, who our office has not had any contact with.
Okay. Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, that is a negotiated plea. We asked the court to accept those terms the state has laid out. He stipulates to jurisdiction, that is, say venue, and he stipulates to factual basis and identification.
Okay. Mr. Reed, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 004752D, you wish to plead guilty to theft by taking. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? Yes, sir. You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Yes. Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Reed. When you complete the terms of the probation, the anti-theft course, then the probation is going to terminate, okay? So the sooner you get that done, the sooner you're not going to be on probation, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I have an announcement for position 18, Mr. Stinson.
Okay,
He needs sign language interpreter.
oh, okay. Let's see, did we, is Champion or is this Mr. Jordan that's on with me?
It's Strong. I'll ask Mr. Jordan about it.
Okay, so if we can't get one for today, then I guess we're gonna have to reset it, but I don't know if one's already been ordered or not, so.
And I'll find out. I apologize, Judge. And this is for position number 18.
Yes, that's correct, Mr.
Okay.
Stinson.
Thank you.
All right, so thanks. We'll let you know whether we're gonna be able to get a sign language interpreter this morning. You'll just hang on for us. Thank you.
All right.
We can go back to Alpharetta, position 20 and 21, Ms. Walker.
Okay, so this is gonna be a negotiated plea. Is that right, Mr. McLean?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay, and if the Alpharetta Jail can unmute for me?
Come on, let's go.
If there's someone there at the Alpharetta Jail to assist, we're ready for you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Walker, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. You can put your hand down, Ms. Walker. Good morning. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Walker. Yes, Mr. Ian Walker.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation in this case is 12 months to serve 270 days, credit for time served of 135 days, balance suspended with a stay away condition at the incident location, which is the Pizza Bar located at 3560 Camp Creek Parkway.
Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, we stipulate to jurisdiction, factual basis, and identification. Your Honor, she asked the court to accept the negotiated plea according to the terms the state has just mentioned.
Okay. Ms. Walker, it's my understanding that in case 19 CR 002075H, you wish to plead guilty to theft of services, terroristic threats, and obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept your plea as negotiated, Ms. Walker, and it's my understanding that position number 21 is going to be null pros. Is that right, Mr.?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Walker.
Thank you. Position 4, Garcia.
And this is also a negotiated plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Diaz-Garcia. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. We're conducting this hearing by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Mr. Young.
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommendation in this case is a 12-month served 32 days, credit for time served 16 days with the balance probated, 8-week anger management, stay away from the incident location, and no further contact with the victim. Give me just a moment, I'll get you that information. The incident location is 2572 Lenox Road Northeast, and the victim is Cynthia Contreras.
That is.
Yes, Your Honor, that's our understanding of the offer. I had a chance to discuss all of the options to Ms. Diaz-Garcia. This will be a negotiated plea. We do stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the purpose of this plea. We would request Ms. Diaz-Garcia be given the opportunity to go non-reporting status upon completion of the 8 weeks of anger management. And if Your Honor would waive any of Ms. Diaz-Garcia's probation fees to help her get back on her feet, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Ms. Diaz-Garcia, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 002572A, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery and criminal trespass and damage to property. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yeah.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yeah.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. I believe that Ms. Diaz-Garcia should be able to get this 8 weeks of anger management done very quickly, so I'm not willing to waive any fees, but I'll have it go non-reporting as soon as she gets it done. So Ms. Diaz-Garcia, the quicker you get the 8 weeks of anger management done, the quicker you won't be on reporting probation, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, man.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 16, Rice.
And this is also a negotiated plea.
That's my understanding, Your Honor.
Yes, it is.
Let's see. Good morning, Mr. Rice.
Morning.
Let me know when you all are ready there, Mr. McLean.
Oh, we're ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Rice, we are conducting your hearing this today by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Walker.
Yes, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 4 days, credit for time served 2 days, balance probated with the condition of an anti-theft course, and a stay away from all MARTA. I did review the warrant, and Mr. Rice was issued a 365-day suspension from MARTA.
Okay. Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, we ask the court to accept this negotiated plea of guilty. It stipulates to all 3 necessary elements.
Mr. Rice, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 002635G, you wish to plead guilty to theft by taking. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yeah.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yeah.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Rice. I'm gonna have, once you complete the anti-theft class, your probation is gonna go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't have to report to probation, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Rice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He's also position 17, I believe, no?
Apparently so. Oh, I didn't see that. And what's the, go ahead, Mr. Walker, as far as.
I believe it's a
position.
negotiated plea. Is that right, Mr. McLean?
It is.
Okay. So the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 30 days, credit for time served, 15 days, balance probated with the condition of an ADET, and again, a stay away from all MARTA.
Okay, Mr. McLean?
Yes, Your Honor, we discussed that case as well. He's prepared to perform those conditions. We asked the court to accept the negotiated plea of guilty, stipulate to jurisdiction, that is, say venue and identification and factual basis.
Mr. Rice, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 002640G, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes. Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
No. Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Rice. And also in this case, as soon as you complete the ADET, it'll go to a non-reporting status, okay? So the sooner you get that done, the sooner you won't have to report to probation.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Rice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 6, Mr. Griggs.
Your case,
Yes, Your Honor. I do have Mr. Griggs for position 6. This will be a negotiated plea. I sent a couple of emails to Mr. Jordan to add another case of Mr. Griggs on the add-on calendar. I don't know if we could address that as well as just a criminal trespass while we have Mr. Griggs here. But if not, I understand that we may not be able to address that.
so he's not currently on the add-on calendar, is that right?
That's my understanding, unless there was an updated add-on that I missed. I do have the case number for that. It's not what's holding him, but he does have a court appearance on the 18th to resolve that, or to have a calendar update on that. But if possible, we would want to resolve it today.
Are you familiar with that case, Mr. Young?
Yes, Your Honor, I reviewed it briefly this morning. The state does have a recommendation for that case also, so we possibly can resolve both.
All right, can you give me the case number, please?
Yes, Your Honor. The case number is 22 CR 004270Y.
What is the charge?
It is criminal trespass.
What's the state's recommendation?
The state recommendation for the criminal trespass is 12 months probation and to stay away from 548 Northside Drive, that's the Circle K, to run concurrent to case 23 CR 002630Y. 12 months served, 30 days, credit for time served, 14 days. Stay away from 640 Jones Avenue Northwest in Atlanta. No further contact with the victim, Jacob Huntley Brody, and top theft course. And then 12 months probation for the 12 months, for the drug-related objects to run concurrent to count 1.
Your intent for him to be in jail another day, or is this your intent for it to be time served? If it's time served, it's credit for 28 days, 14, 28.
Mr. Griggs does have credit for 15 days. My apologies for not mentioning that earlier. So this would be a time served offer.
Okay, so 30 days, 15. And let's see, anything further, Mr. Dodos?
Your Honor, I mentioned the possibility of resolving Mr. Griggs' other case. It's just a criminal trespass, Mr. Griggs. If you want to accept that offer, you could be unmuted. Bruce South.
Is there someone at 3 South that can unmute for us? Oh, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Dodos.
Hi, Mr. Griggs, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna, we spoke yesterday about one case that we're gonna do a negotiated plea on. But we have that other case, we have an open criminal trespass case. And they have an offer for you, and I wanted to see if you wanted to go ahead and resolve that as well while we're here.
Yeah, we'll resolve.
You want to resolve? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Yeah, we're going to resolve, yeah.
Okay, if Mr. Young wouldn't mind, giving his recommendation again now that Mr. Griggs is unmuted.
Okay, so the state's recommendation is for the criminal trespass is 12 months probation to run concurrent to 23 CR 00263OY and to stay away from 548 Northside Drive. That's the Circle K.
So is he getting any jail time, any credit for jail time with the criminal trespass case?
Your Honor, I'm unsure how long he's been in jail for that. It was just going to be a 12 months probation anyway, so we're going to have to stay in jail and to just run concurrent with his current case.
Well, normally with these type of charges, if he's satisfied, if there's no need to have him on probation, it's balance suspended. And he doesn't have any conditions for the criminal trespass.
I can look and see how much jail time he has to the.
And that's fine, Your Honor. We can just do a stay away
Yeah.
and balance suspended.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I was having trouble locating the jail time, but that's fine then. Thank you, Mr. Young, Mr. Walker.
Okay, Ms. Strong, do you have enough for the paperwork?
It's Ms. Champion, Judge.
Oh,
I
I'm sorry,
don't
Ms.
have the
Champion.
file folder, so I'm writing it down. So it's gonna be 12 months, balance suspended and a stay away from 548 Northside Drive.
Yes.
Is that a business or?
Mr. Young, do you know what that is?
Which one is that? I'm sorry.
548 Northside Drive.
It's a circle.
It's the Circle K.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Ms. Champion. All right, so let's see. Are we ready to take the plea, please?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe we're ready.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Griggs. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Griggs. Mr. Griggs, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 002630Y, you wish to plead guilty to theft by taking and possession and use of drug-related objects. And in case 22 CR 004270Y, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
So, no, sir.
Okay, I will accept the plea as negotiated. Let's see, it's for the theft by taking and the possession and use of drug-related objects. As soon as you complete the anti-theft class, the probation will terminate. So the sooner you get that done, the sooner you won't be on probation, Mr. Griggs. All right. Good.
Hey, why leave day, sir?
I didn't hear your question.
I said, why leave day?
Mr. Dotis?
Yes, Mr. Griggs, as we discussed yesterday, you've resolved the case that was holding you, so you should be processed out within 24 hours, okay?
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Good luck, Mr. Griggs.
Position number 19, Mr. Strickland. And I also have announcement, position number 22, Wilson, we were released this morning around 6:20 a.m.
Okay, thank you. And this is
Mr. Strickland, Your Honor.
And this is going to be an arraignment and a bond hearing, is that right? Mr.
Yes, Your Honor.
John?
That's
All right.
correct.
Good morning, Mr. Strickland. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
And you can put your hand down, Mr. Strickland. You've been charged in case 23 CR 002790B with battery. This charge carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and/or $1,000 fine. Do you waive formal reading of the accusation, Mr. McLean?
We do, we have it.
Okay. How do you plead, Mr. Strickland? Guilty or not guilty? Say it again.
I need to ask my attorney a question.
Okay.
There it is. Thank you, Your Honor. Sorry for the delay.
Okay. I think my last question was, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
We'll record your not guilty plea. Your case will be returned to the division judge, and you'll get notification of your next hearing date, Mr. Strickland. Mr. Walker, what is the current bond, and if you have the history for me?
Yes, the current bond is a $10,000 surety. If I can ask for pretrial to read the history, please.
Yeah.
And do you know if I issued that bond, Mr. Walker, or not?
No, this case originated as a felony, so this would have been
Okay.
granted at a felony first appearance.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Tyson.
The defendant has one felony conviction outside the 10-year period, one misdemeanor conviction outside of the 10-year period, and 4 violations of conviction. His last arrest was January 28th, 2023 for aggravated battery, criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, burglary in the 2nd, theft by taking, 2 counts of theft by taking. Let's see. I'm sorry. It looks like 2 counts of burglary and then 2 counts of criminal damage to property in the 2nd. It looks like that case was dismissed May 2nd of 2023. The defendant does have, it appears he has 2 open cases. He has a 12 SC 115610 for aggravated assault criminal trespass. It looks like it was assigned to drug court. So I'm not sure the status of that case. And he has a 23 CP case, 23 CP 215827. Charges on that is burglary in the 2nd degree, theft by taking, and criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, and criminal trespass. Nothing to add, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. In that last case mentioned by pretrial, the defendant is currently being held on that case as well. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 62 Harwell Road. At arriving at the scene, they spoke with the victim, whose name is Ms. Charnice Casey. She advised that her live-in boyfriend became angry at the time over relationship issues. He did become aggressive and violent with her. At that time, he did grab her by her neck, throw her into a wall, and punched her multiple times. He then threw her onto the ground and continued to hold her by her neck and punch her continuously. The officer who was speaking with the victim, he did observe the victim to have bruising on her neck and 2 black eyes. The victim was transported to Grady Hospital for treatment. Due to the defendant's extensive criminal history, multiple violations of probation, we are asking for the bond to remain as set and no further contact with Sharnice Casey and to stay away from 62 Hartwell Road.
McLean?
Your Honor, he never lived at Hartwell Road. This is not a family violence matter. He vigorously denies the charges. He did not do any of those things to her. His bond is set at $10,000 and he's simply asking it to be cut in half. He's apparently been told by his felony lawyer on the burglary case that he is eligible for some type of bond program that they have obtained, and it would aid him and assist him if the bond were $5,000 on this one count of battery rather than $10,000.
What is his bond on the other, in the other matter?
I believe it's about $9,000, but I'm not sure. I could check.
It's 9,000.
Okay, anything further, Mr. Walker?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Okay. On this battery, Mr. McLean, I will grant his request to lower it to a $5,000 good bond with all the same conditions that were on the previous bond.
Very good. We'll prepare an order, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, good luck, Mr. Strickland.
Thank you, sir.
Like to. Yeah, you're good. So it should be in, but
Is Mr. Rockwell ready? I'm down to my last person in courtroom too.
Yes, I believe she's going to request a reset. That defendant has an open violation of probation. I think she wants to resolve that, but okay. You're on mute, Ms. Rockwell.
Sorry about that. I already sent the plea paperwork in that I asked that y'all just not date, or I'll date it, or however you want to do it. And if April could just hold that. I just want to make sure that I don't win the battle and lose the war, Judge. If we could just have a reset. I'm trying to get him on a revocation calendar as soon as possible. They possible reset dates, Judge?
Do you want to reset further out than a week?
Yes, and I can, if you tell me who the magic is, let's reset it out further than a week. But once I resolve probation, I'll try to get in touch with April or Mr. Walker or somebody on your team.
Okay, let's see. Why don't we reset it? Do you want to reset it till June 1st, which is a Thursday? Is that too far out?
It's actually not too far out, Judge. It's not too far out at all. Let's do that.
Okay, and if you haven't resolved it, just get in touch with us and we'll take it off.
Okay. Same time, 9 o'clock.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good day.
Thank you so much. And just so Kelvin, can y'all send me the phone number so I can explain to Kelvin exactly what's happening right now?
Dial 404-612-2392. And what was that reset date?
June 1st.
June 1st.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Have a good rest of your day.
That concludes courtroom 1.
Okay. What are we gonna do with positions?
Judge Morrow,
Yes.
Mr. Jordan said that we would need to reset position number 18 because there wasn't anything sent for a sign language interpreter. So we can do next Tuesday or we can do Thursday.
Mr. Dodas, I believe this was his case.
My apologies. What position is this?
Mr. 18, Mr. Stinson, we can't get a sign language interpreter today. Was this Mr. McLean's case?
Yes, it's medical unit and it's ASL.
Okay, do you want this case reset for next Tuesday or next Thursday, Mr. McLean?
I think Thursday would be fine, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll reset that for the 18th.
Very good.
18. So we're still holding on position 7.
Right, and I'm not sure when ACDC will be on the line. I think that's one position for ACDC.
Okay, is that position 23?
There's a negotiated plea, Laquan Young.
So I have that we still have position 7, position 23. And one for the probation revocation calendar that we, position 1.
Michael Morris. We'll need to speak with Mr. Morris briefly before starting the probation matter, Your Honor.
Okay, so those are the 3 that I have that we still have to do from the 9 o'clock calendar. Is that right?
Right, now 23 is a negotiated plea if that's ready for everybody.
Okay.
What 23 is negotiated.
Okay, so as soon as we get them present, we can proceed. I guess they're at some other location.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be in recess until
Judge Morrow, position number 20.
yes.
He was released on April 29th at 4:10 a.m. from Cagle Bonding Company.
No, that's.
Are you saying 22 or position 23?
22 is released too.
Oh,
No,
both of them?
Okay,
Mr. Wilson was released this morning at 6:10 a.m.
okay.
Mr. Young is still in custody for the Odyssey.
Okay, so we'll be in recess until someone joins us.
Okay.
And Mr. Walker, I don't know if
Yes,
you
sir.
have, it's early, but we only have a few more to go on the 9 o'clock calendar. If we can raise Mr. Howard. then
Okay.
Mr. Howard's here. Hi, good morning, Mr. Howard.
I'm here.
Okay, do you all want to go do the 11 o'clock calendar now while we're waiting?
Sure, I'm fine with that.
Okay. And Ms. McLeod, are you here for the competency calendar?
Good morning, Your Honor. Yes, I am.
Okay, so if, and who else is with us this morning for the competency calendar?
Miss Amin Williams is in courtroom 2, but I don't know if she'll need to. I don't know where she'll jump on at because if she's able to, if not, I'll give the announcement.
Okay.
Jail our phone.
Order on that. Reduce 10 to 5 on.
Go ahead, Blunt.
Mr. Young is on 4 North 410.
Say that again?
I'm sorry, 4 North 110, Mr. Young. His position number 23.
Twenty-six?
23.
23.
It was just the wrong booking number. on
It was the
calendar.
wrong booking number on the calendar for this guy.
What's his position?
23.
Position number 23.
All right, I'll go get him.
Is Devontae Pope's mother on the Zoom?
I have position 23, Mr. Young.
They're in a breakout room right now. They'll be back shortly.
Okay, thank you.
Nicole Polk here for Devontae Polk.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna put you in the breakout room, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Pope. Kia, did you need to go in the breakout room?
Yes, please.
Blunt or Mr. Dotus?
Hi.
Can you let the, and I'm not sure what deputy is in there, know that position number 16 on the competency calendar will be taking a plea, so they're gonna need to pull him.
Okay.
O'Neill is the last name, if they can hear me.
Position 16, okay.
Yeah, on the competency calendar.
Well, I'll let them know right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I meant to note this, let's see, this, Mr. Howard.
Yes, Judge.
I've seen Mr. Thomas on here all morning long. Did you need to speak with him? I know that wasn't he on our competency calendar a couple of weeks ago? You know who I'm talking about?
About his brother, I think.
Right. Yeah, he's been with us all morning, and I didn't see him on the calendar.
Right, and we were going to. He was reset. For refresh my memory, why was he reset to today?
That I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I know that we were speaking with his brother. As his brother wanted the conditions of the bond, I think, so that he could deal. He had to stay away from his brother, but his brother, he's been housed with his brother, I believe, and we were going to change those conditions so that he wouldn't be in violation. That's
okay.
That's what I remember about the case. I'm not sure if there's anything else, but I just didn't know why he was here this morning.
Okay, so Mr. Walker, I guess, have you reviewed it and are comfortable?
I think the bond was already modified. No.
Well, maybe I can just add. Is there someone that's with Mr. Carlos Thomas? Yes. Good morning, sir. Can you unmute yourself for me?
Yes, I'm Carl Thomas, his older brother. He had a no violent contact order. I don't remember no contact, it was just no violent contact.
Right, that's what I remember also. Is there a reason that you all were with us this morning? I don't see him on the calendar. Did you need something from the court?
Oh, no, we was just told to attend on the 11th for Carlos for competency.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find it and find something in Odyssey.
Yeah, I'm looking it up as well.
Yeah, I think they were given a reset date, simply came back on the date, which would be today.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat that case. They won't leave TV in. I'm gonna beat that. That's all I'm coming to.
So while you all do that, let me go ahead on and see if we have any other pleas that need to be taken. Where are we from the 9 o'clock calendar?
Number 23, Mr. Young is ready.
Okay. What position is that?
Number position 23, he's on 4 North on the video.
Okay. And that's a negotiated plea?
That's correct.
Okay. Let's see. Can you hear me, Mr. Young?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good morning. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you.
This is my case, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Walker.
Yes, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 111 days, credit for time served of 56 days, balance suspended with no conditions.
Mr. McClain?
Your Honor, he stipulates to venue, identification, and factual basis, asks the court to accept the negotiated plea.
Mr. Young, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 002642J, you wish to plead guilty to one misdemeanor offense. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Young. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any progress on Mr. Thomas? Okay.
Judge, is Mr. Thomas is your year of birth 1992, Mr. Thomas?
Yeah.
I'm showing it was on 425 an inquiry calendar and the bench warrants were set aside. It was reset to today.
It's 1998, not two.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm looking wrong.
Okay, I'll give you additional time, Mr. Howard. Just let me know when you're ready. I just want to make sure that we deal with him today. Who do we have next on the state all-purpose calendar? Do we have someone at ACDC that we need to handle?
Yes, Your Honor, good morning.
Good morning.
We do have, Ms. Mitchell Regent.
Say it again.
Mitchell, position 7.
Okay. And this is also a negotiated plea?
Yes, Your Honor, this is a negotiated plea.
Good morning, Ms. Mitchell. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all, good morning, ma'am. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir, no problem.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes, I'll try to.
Okay. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, no problem.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. Yes, Mr. Walker.
I actually think this is Mr. Young's case, but I think he's having some technical issues. Give me 1 second. The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated with the conditions of a stay away from the incident location, Posh Nail Spa. I can give you that address in just 2 moments, and restitution to the business in the amount of $152 and the condition of an anti-theft course.
Okay, Mr. Dutters?
Yes, Your Honor, that's our understanding, and we do stipulate to the factual basis, video and ID for the purpose of the plea. I have the address as 2900 Peachtree. If Mr. Walker still needs it. We do stipulate to the 3 elements. We would request this to switch over to non-reporting status upon completion of the anti-theft course of payment of restitution. Ms. Mitchell has all the information she needs to sign up for that class and meet with probation, and I think she can do that quickly. So we would ask for that switch to non-reporting status. But other than that, we're prepared for the negotiated plea.
Okay, once she completes the terms, I'm gonna have the probation terminate as opposed to going non-reported. So, Ms. Mitchell, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 002576C, you wish to plead guilty to theft of service, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir, not at all.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir, I'm pleased.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury.
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
Okay, I will accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Mitchell. As soon as you get the $152 paid and the anti-theft class done, the probation is going to terminate. So the sooner you get that done, the sooner you won't be on probation, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right, you have a good day, ma'am.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson, Mr. Attorney Howard wanted to speak with her. And as soon as I finish with Ms. Johnson, I have to go and get Mr. Michael Morris.
Okay, so.
Possibly can have a breakout session with him.
Okay, so just let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready for the breakout session with Mr. Howard.
Are you there, Mr. Howard?
I'm sorry, Judge. I was on the phone, Mr. Thomas.
Oh, okay.
What you all needing?
You want to? I think this is your client at ACDC that you needed a breakout session with.
Is that Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes. I will need to speak with
Okay.
her.
All right. And is there an announcement on Mr. Thomas before you go? Mr. Howard? I think he froze on us. Okay, so who do we have at 4 North?
This is Mr. O'Neill, position 16, the compass.
Oh, okay. So this was Mr. Howard's client as well, so we'll have to hold until he gets back.
All right.
Let's see. So Mr. Morris. Let's see if we have anybody on from the 11 o'clock DV bench warrant case. Is Lorraine Evans? Yes, I see Miss Evans there. Mr. Dodas, are you representing Miss Evans?
That'll be Attorney McLean. I think we didn't have a chance to speak with Miss Evans, so.
Okay, so he's gonna have to call her, I guess. And what about position 2, DeAnthony Nunn?
My understanding was he has a private attorney, Mr. Stephen Byrne.
Let's see.
He does have a private attorney.
Is Mr. Nunn or Mr. Byrne on the line? Okay, it's 11:15, so.
And Your Honor, we also have an add-on to the DB case, Mr. Marcus Pitts. I was just made aware of that this morning.
Okay,
Is it possible, Ms. Champion, if you put his case number in the chat? Please?
Yes, we'll do.
I don't know if I saw that or that.
yeah, and did you all, who was representing Mr. Pitts?
Your Honor, I don't think we had any calendar saying that Mr. Pitts was on this calendar, so I'm not aware of his case. We probably asked for a 1-week reset.
Okay.
And I know he is here if we want to talk to him quickly. I don't have a phone. I guess we do a breakout room.
No, I don't.
So if you want to do a breakout room with them, I'm happy to let you do that. If you want to reset them, I'm happy to let you do that also. Whatever you-
Let me, Mr. Pitts, I'm happy to do a breakout room and try to address it. Let me just write the case number that Ms. Champion gave us down before I'm disconnected.
Mr. Pitts' audio isn't working. He's trying to get it to connect. So I don't know if that makes a difference on what you might want to do today.
Okay. Given that no one is prepared for Mr. Pitts' case, why don't we reset Mr. Pitts for
Let me tell you, I had my debit card.
for next week?
I'll add him to Tuesday's calendar if that's okay. Judge.
Okay, that's fine. So, and if you can message him also that we're resetting this case till next Tuesday. I don't know if he can hear us or not. It doesn't appear that he can.
He can't hear you, but I've been speaking with him in the chat, so I'll let him know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Took it in the airport. Nobody told me anything. They just took my stuff. They didn't open up their phone to see why.
And is Mr. McLean doing other business?
No, he's right here.
Okay, is he talking to Miss Evans?
No, we don't have, we're gonna have to do a breakout with her, Your Honor.
Yeah, we don't, the phones are being used for first appearance, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, all right.
If I see her, it looks like her audio is working. If you want to place her in a breakout room with my laptop, that might work.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's, Ms. Evans, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to speak with one of the public defenders to represent you in this matter this morning. So we're going to put you into a breakout room with the attorney so that you can speak with him in private about your case, okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay, so when you see it's going to say accept breakout room, I need for you to go ahead and do that for us, okay?
Okay.
All right, so if we can put them into a breakout room, Ms. Evans and Mr. Dodez's iPad. Okay, and I guess we'll be in recess until someone returns.
We're still waiting for a breakout room with Miss Evans.
I apologize. I was speaking with Mr. Pitts, Mr. Dotis and Miss Evans. I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks. Is that April?
Yeah.
That was April. Okay, thanks.
I'm old.
Yes, Mr. Howard.
Yes, Judge. So I've talked with Ms. Johnson, explained what's required of her. So in terms of not returning to that location, so we'll submit the order for that. And for Mr. Thomas, from talking with his brother, sounds like we'll need to submit an order, Judge, for the court consideration, and those it can be handled on an outpatient basis. And so Ms. Amin Williams is taking his brother's information so that we can help facilitate what's needed on an outpatient basis. But from talking to him, it appears that we do need to request an eval.
Okay. And so if you can submit that, and when do you want to reset him for?
How long does it take them to set it up outpatient? Do we need to let's just do a month, Judge, just to follow up in a month.
Okay, all right, thank you. So, and Mr. Thomas free to go?
Yes, and then Mr. Thomas will reach out to you. We have your number. So we'll talk with you more in detail about the process.
Okay, so he'll have court again sometime next month?
Yes, as a follow-up. And I'm gonna have Ms. Amin Williams call you shortly to explain kind of what the next steps are. Social worker will call you shortly.
Okay, he does see his therapist in a couple hours, if that helps.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just talk to her in a few minutes. She'll
Okay.
call you shortly. All right.
And Mr. Howard, I think this is your client also at 4 North,
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill.
Yes, Judge.
And do you need to speak with him before we
No,
go
Judge,
forward?
we met yesterday, so.
All right, so, and he's gonna, he's gonna take a plea to the criminal trespass and the theft by taking this
That's
morning?
correct, Judge.
Okay.
You just asked
good-
if he enters a NOLO. I'm sorry.
Any objection from the state?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. O'Neill. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. State's recommendation is going to be 12 months to serve, 154 days, credit for time served is 77 days. Balance suspended with the conditions of a stay away from 4295 Lake Haven Drive in Atlanta, Georgia, and no further contact with the victim, whose name is Alberto Bruni, which is spelled Bruni.
Mr. Howard?
Judge, we'd ask you to accept that please negotiate it. We do stipulate to a factual basis, venue and ID. We just ask you to accept the plea.
Mr. O'Neill, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 001078F, you wish to plead NOLO to criminal trespass and theft by taking. Is that correct? You have to speak up for me, sir.
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading NOLO to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead NOLO?
No.
I'll accept your NOLO plea, sir. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So are we missing anyone from the SAP calendar? I know that we still, what about on the probation revocation calendar? Michael Morris, is he still, I guess he's still en route?
Yes, I believe now that Milton was done with that last client, she's en route to get Mr. Morris.
Okay, I see Attorney Byrne on the line for our DV bench warrant case. Good morning, Mr. Byrne.
Good morning, Your Honor. Thank you very much. And my client, Mr. DeAnthony Deshawn Nunn, is also on the call. He's identified by Zoom user.
Okay. Mr. Walker, I take it that Mr. Nunn is here because he missed a court date?
That is correct, Your Honor. I'm looking at Odyssey right now. He missed a jury trial calendar call in Judge Taylor's courtroom on June 23rd of last year. He currently has a $1,250 surety bond in place. It's the state's position, it's the defendant's responsibility to keep up with their court dates and for them to update any change in address with the clerk of court. That obviously did not happen, so we asked that the set aside not be granted.
Mr. Byrne?
Your Honor, I was just recently retained to represent Mr. Nunn. I did file my entry of appearance, my discovery motion, and we asked that the court place or that the clerk set this on the DV reset calendar. We're asking that the set aside be granted. Mr. Nunn learned that I guess that he missed the court date. I don't know much about the history of it. I know that I've been working with him since I've been retained. I understood he moved addresses, and he is also employed. He's been doing fine for the last year, no interactions with law enforcement. I'm going to take care of this case now that he's represented. He was not represented, as far as I know, back in last June. Maybe he was, but I don't know for sure. But all things being considered, he is here on the Zoom call today. We would ask that the court go ahead and grant the set aside. And I talked to the assistant solicitor who's assigned to the case, who is Taylor Todd. And she and I are going to talk as soon as we get a new court date so we can try to resolve this. I can also tell you that he's had no further violent contact with the alleged victim. In fact, they are still in a relationship and they have a small child. So there is every reason to suspect that this matter will be resolved amicably and probably in pretty short order.
Do we have his current address on file with the clerk's office?
It was not included on the set aside request.
I didn't do that, Your Honor. I was desperate to try to get this on a calendar, but I can file that with the clerk's office as soon as the court instructs me to do so.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and instruct you to get that done. It's this court's policy that I'll get a set aside on one occasion. So he's using up his one time now. So if he misses any additional court dates, they won't be set aside. But since you have retained and you're going to get us a proper address, we'll go ahead and set it aside this one time. If you can prepare that set aside order, I'll get it signed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm giving you the opportunity, Mr. Nunn, to set that aside, but if you miss another court date, they won't be set aside in the future. All right, you all have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm good. How you?
Nothing to worry about.
Let's see. Mr. McLean is still speaking, I guess, with Ms. Evans. I don't see that we have, and I know we have Michael Morris on the probation revocation calendar. Ms. Champion, can we go ahead and go over the calendar in anticipation of those last two?
Yes, sir. Position number 1 on the state all purpose calendar was a plea. Position number 2 was a plea. Position number 3 was a plea. Position number 4 was a plea. Position number 5 was a plea. Position number 6 was a plea. Position number 7 was a plea. Position number 8 will be reset to the SAP 518. Position number 9 was a plea. 10 was a plea. Position 11 was a plea. Position 12 through 14 is going to be reset to the SAP 518. Position 15 was a plea. Position 16 was a plea, and 17 was a plea. Position 18 is going to be reset to 518 to get a sign language interpreter. Position 19 is going to be reset for the notice, jail jury. Position 20 was a plea. Position 21 was a no pros. Position 22, reset further notice, defendant was released. Position 23 was a plea. Add-on position 1 is going to be reset, SAP June 1st. Position number 7 and 8 is reset, SAP 5/16. The DV bench warrant calendar, position number 1 we're holding. Position number 2 is going to be set aside. And we're also holding on the position number 1 for the probation calendar. Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
And Attorney McLean is headed back to courtroom 2. We're ready on Miss Evans, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, I'm don't mean to barge in.
No, you're fine.
I have Michael Morris.
Okay,
And-
and let's,
Yeah, we just still have the 2 telephones in the courtroom tied up. It looks like it's gonna be available pretty soon.
Can we do a breakout with him? Because I have to get ready for my 11:30 court.
Okay,
Yeah, we can,
let's do that.
Thank you.
So we're putting ACDC and who else in the breakout room?
Angelo Dotis's
I need-
laptop.
I need to rejoin the Zoom, my apologies.
He's rejoining the Zoom.
Once I I'll hand it back to. You want to handle this, Evans?
Do y'all
okay, so Mr. Dodas is gonna talk to Mr. Morris, and
No.
Mr. McLean, you're gonna handle Ms. Evans?
Well, I can go ahead and talk to Mr. Morris, Your Honor, because I've already read the paperwork. But do you want to go ahead and handle Ms. Evans now?
Mr. Walker?
It would be the state's request if possible.
Okay.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I need the
Yes.
South- ACDC South Annex 1 camera Zoom John with the Zoom link. I'm sorry. Got my train of thought.
I don't think Evans will take very long.
She connect me to the wrong breakout room. It's supposed to be South Annex 1.
Okay, we'll get you into a breakout room in just a moment. Mr. Young, are you handling Miss Evans?
That's correct, Judge.
I take it that she missed a court date?
Yeah, she missed a court date. I believe it was 5/2, I believe.
Morgan.
Yes.
It was actually put on.
Okay.
Yeah, she missed court on May 2nd, 2023.
And do you know what that was?
Looking at notes on Odyssey, it was supposed to be a final plea. It was in courtroom 3D. It was supposed to be a final plea.
Right at the car?
Yeah, Tyson, right?
Oh, Bone was upgraded too.
Oh, okay. So I am done.
That's it. All right.
Put me in a break. Sorry. Put me in a breakout room.
Sorry, I was taken from the session.
Me too.
Okay, so Mr. McLean.
In quick summary, Your Honor, she says that she hasn't had an FTA of any kind since about 15 years ago on a ticket.
Okay.
She says that somebody called her. She's been calling the bonding company on a regular basis. She says somebody called her. She believes it was her own bonding company and said you got court on the May 3rd, which is a Wednesday. Then she found out on May 3rd, which is a Wednesday, that it should have been May 2nd, which was a Tuesday. Your Honor, she does, this is a similar situation or another situation we've got where I don't know what the date of alleged offense is on this, but she's alleged to have had BFB on her sister, 35 years old, and her mother, 61 years old. However, Your Honor, she takes care of her mother, and her brother Corey takes care of her mother. The three of them live in Columbus, Georgia, and she was trying to look out for this court date. I don't know how far back the date of occurrence is alleged to be. She says that her mother received a bipolar schizophrenia diagnosis at Grady ever since Maureen herself, the defendant here, was 15 years old. She nonetheless was retired as a CNA, certified nursing assistant, and used to work for several decades as a CNA at a nursing home.
Do we have a proper address for Mr. McLean?
Miss Evans, your mail is good at that address?
Yes, that address that has on file is actually the good address. I stay in Columbus, Georgia.
Right. So I explained to Your Honor, Your Honor, a couple of additional methods to never have to rely upon the mail for your freedom. And she's willing to check with the bonding company more often and the clerk. And once every few weeks come to Atlanta from Columbus and make double sure by checking on the public computer. But she'll use all the methods.
Okay, Ms. Evans, I'm going to give you one opportunity and I'm going to set this aside on this occasion. But if you miss court again for whatever reason, it won't be set aside the next time. Okay, so make sure that we have your proper address and that you keep in touch with the court so you know when your next hearing date is. Okay, because if this happens again. The bench won't be set aside, but I'll set this one aside, okay?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Correct phone number.
Did you hear the?
Ms. Evans, can you chat the correct phone number? Do you have chat on your, do you know how to do chat?
How you do chat?
We'll figure it out.
Somebody. Okay, chat and send my number through the chat.
Yeah, send it to what's called C2, which is courtroom number 2. We'll see it.
Okay, courtroom number
C2. That's the person listed as C2. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm sending it.
All right. Good luck to you, Miss Evans.
All right.
Thank you.
So we are waiting on Michael Morris, I think is the last case. Did you go into a breakout room with him?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay.
Your Honor, sorry to interrupt. Is this the probation case?
Yes.
Is it fine if the state is dismissed? I think we concluded our case.
Well, I think if I have to stay, you have to stay too. No, y'all have a good day. I know it's been
And just before Mr. Walker leaves, just we got an update on one of the cases we discussed in the breakout. We heard back from the place, we were looking for a placement and they're willing to take her. So I talked with Mr. Walker and he's okay with it. I'm gonna submit an order for her to be released next week, be transported there.
Okay, I'll
Roger.
get that signed when I get it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Let's see. Do we still have Mr. Morris or ACDC on the line?
Your Honor, they are in a breakout room with Attorney McLean right now.
Oh, okay. All right. So we will, I think that's our last case for the 9 o'clock calendar. So we'll be in recess until Mr. McLean comes back.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Ms. Evans, I got your phone number, so you're good to go. Okay?
I know I told
Thank you, Ms. Evans. Okay.
him. Come on, man. Talk about that.
Can you hear us, Your Honor?
Yes, and this is Mr. Morris, is that right?
Yes.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Morris. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Officer Harris, are you with me? Okay.
Yes,
Yes, sorry that's taken so long, Officer Harris.
it's fine.
Okay, where are we with Mr. Morris?
Yes, let me look up Mr. Morris' case real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, Your Honor. So Mr. Morris was sentenced to probation on August 20th, 2018 to complete the 6 months domestic violence class and 41 hours of community service. He missed his revocation hearing on April 15th, 2019 with Judge Morrison, and that's why a warrant was issued for his arrest. During that time as well, he has got new charges of a battery of November 16, 2019, a battery felony violence on November 12th, 2022, and simple battery felony violence as of March 15th of this year. He has 2 months and 26 days left on his case. Probation recommendation is to revoke his remaining balance.
Mr. McLean?
You know, the reason that this was an email yesterday saying, let's put him on the calendar, was that the probation department did correctly note that on April 18th, a few days back, he was in another state courtroom and was given a sentence on one of those cases, I believe, I imagine it would have to be one of those, of a certain punishment and FVIP or DVIP. So our defense is not so much a defense as just a comment that I don't know there'd be any point in delaying him getting on with that sentence. That courtroom would have been fully apprised of his history. It would have been able to judge what he and the public, what he and society needed, and various factors for sentencing. And it would, to revoke him now would just simply delay slightly the getting on with his final impetus, his final determination to do his probation correctly now and to take that FVIP course. I'm sure the attorney, whatever attorney, whether it was private practice, appointed conflict, or public defender, apprised him of the fact that FVIP is long, it's expensive, you can't skip a class, they'll kick you out and make you start all over, and it'll cost you double. It's expensive, it costs about $1,000. So I think that based on all that, he's probably got a good bit of incentive to get it done right this time.
Well, my only problem with that, Mr. McLean, is that he has not done, that's a whole different charge, whole different sentence. On this sentence that he promised the court that he was going to do certain things on, he did not do whatsoever. So I'm not going to let him off the hook for these 3 charges simply because he picked up more charges and has, another recommendation for those charges. He has not done anything for these charges, so I don't think that would be fair. As such, I'm going to take the probation's recommendation and revoke the 2 months and 26 days, and then he'll be done with this.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Morris. Officer Harris, if you wouldn't mind sending those orders. Did you get my email this morning?
I did. Is that
Okay,
email you want me to send to?
Yes. Would you mind? I can get them back quicker to you if you'll send it to that email. Okay.
Yes, I could.
All right. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Unless there's something further, I believe that completes our calendars for today. All right. So you all have a good rest of your day. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor.